Bill Maher, the last sane Democrat, went on The View and talks about Israel and Hamas. And he got challenged, but defended Israel perfectly. Check it out.
I mean, it's just astounding to me that they can't tell the good guys from the bad guys. I mean, just morally. I mean, let me tell you, if you're for Hamas, just live in Gaza for a day. And I'm not talking about while the war is on. I mean, before the war. Trust me, you would go running and screaming and begging to live in Tel Aviv, a place that has your values. I mean, women have no, I mean, this is a show watched by a lot of women. Women have no rights in this place, and a lot of majority Muslim countries around the world. I mean, there is no equal rights as far as speech, dress, opportunities for education, reproductive rights, freedom from sexual violence, freedom from sexual harassment.
The LGBTQ community as well.
Yes. You that too. But you throw around the term apartheid. There is a gender apartheid in a lot of the world.
Yeah, I mean, the idea that the left, you know, the hypocrisy that the left supports the Palestinians, that the left supports the Islamic, Palestinians, the Islamic countries that hate everything that the left stands for, whether it be gay rights, whether it be women's rights, whether it be even, you know, treating blacks, in a normal fashion, you know, having them as real citizens. They treat them as second class or third class citizens. They have no Jews in their countries. They have they have Christians, but the Christians are generally persecuted against. So they are the absolute biggest racists, homophobes, anti-Jewish, etc. Across the board. They are the most discriminate and just oppressive regimes out there. The whole Arab world. Forget about just Hamas. Forget about like the entire Arab world, except for the states in the Gulf where they're trying to sort of modernize, like the UAE or Saudi Arabia. But the rest of them are just complete hotbeds of racism,
where women are second-class citizens at best.
Are you at all concerned about the innocent civilians that have been collectively punished and murdered, largely children and women? And are you at all concerned about the fact that the International Criminal Court just today issued a subpoena for Bibi Netanyahu?
Well, that's ridiculous, but it's a war.
Why?
It's a war. Because it's a war, and they were attacked, and they're defending themselves. Now, this is a war. Do you think Hamas needs to be destroyed? This is the question.
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
So how can we get out with a ceasefire?
All right. So Hamas needs to be destroyed because they are a terrorist organization who say openly that they want to commit genocide on the Jewish people, on the state of Israel. That's what from the river to the sea means, okay? And they say it very openly. They said, we did this attack. They've attacked Israel 5 times. They've started 5 wars since they were given that land back. They could have chosen to turn that place into any place they wanted to, and they took a lot of money that they took from the international community, and they spent it on bombs and guns and building tunnels. So if they need to be destroyed, how do we do that? It's a war. I don't know how to do that, and you don't know how to do that. I assume the Israeli... Of course, everybody is, but that's what happens in a war. Here's a way to stop that. Stop attacking Israel.
Are you concerned about the innocent Palestinians? Again, they voted in Hamas. They collectively basically raped the Jewish hostages and paraded them through the streets. They celebrate death. Now, I'm not saying none of this is basically justification for collective punishment. But the fact is, when we went to war in Japan, when we went to war versus Germany, it was total war. It was war against the entire nation. And, when you have an entire people that are committed to your destruction, you can't, spend your entire efforts trying to limit their civilian casualties and care more about their civilians than you do about your own. Yeah, you saw this in Germany. We killed way more German civilians in World War II than they killed ours. again, the Dresden argument, like people say, oh, it's just an Israeli talking point, but it is true. It is true. In history, if any other country attacked, if let's say 60,000 Americans were killed, the equivalent of the population size of Israel compared to that of America's 1,200 civilians on October 7th is comparable to 60,000 civilians dying in America. If that happened, the response from America would be all hell breaks loose. We don't care about any civilians or any civilian casualties on the other side. The idea that Israel has gone to the lengths that it's gone, is unbelievable. Where you see the entire Gaza is destroyed, you drop thousands of bombs, and yet only 50,000 or only 40,000 civilians are killed, along with maybe 20,000, 30,000 Hamas members.
Calling for the annihilation of Israel and all the Jews. They're calling for the annihilation of the Jews. And so you can't really defend that on the other side very easily.
So that was the end of that, and you can't defend that, and you can't debate or sit down for negotiations with those types of people. And that is why Israel should go all the way. For more, subscribe to the channel. If you want to help us make more of these videos, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JewishUncensored. Thank you, and have a good one.